Well, greetings for color fans and welcome back to Metarog's channel. And today I'm going to start, this is a sort of a series, right? Since I'm going to be away from the Metacave in Florida for a few months in between. I will be back there in a few weeks, by the way. But I thought, I've been picking up here in the New Jersey area a few comics that I find interesting or that, shall we say, have infamous vibes to them. And so I thought I'd start with Skateman and a series I'm going to call Obscure Character Spotlight. Now, I've always been fascinated with these more esoteric characters and how they come to be, and the impetus behind them, the inspiration behind them, shall we say. So I figured, why not explore that a little bit? So let me know if you like this type of video, or if this is just too arcane for even us comic aficionados. But at least I'll start with this one. I have a few more that I'm considering. But let's start with the rather infamous Skateman. And this comic came out in 1983, I believe it was November of 83, and it was written and drawn and created by none other than Neal Adams. As you can see there on the cover, it says Neal Adams Skateman. And this is a 32-page interior comic, 36 with the covers, of course, but the Skateman story is actually 19 pages, no ads. This was published by Pacific Comics. This is before Neal Adams started his own publishing company, Continuity. And it is essentially an attempt to take advantage of a lot of the pop culture trends at the time, which I was a part of. But let's go exploring inside this comic. As you can see, the character Skateman indeed has roller skates, the four-wheel version, not the inline version, which was popular later on. And if you can see on his belt there, he has some nunchucks. So he is also a martial artist. And how he came about is, I think, somewhat interesting. But again, this is a trope-ridden comic, okay? So let's take a look at the splash page, which is the same as the cover, except with some text, as you can see. Now, this is not Comics Code approved, so there is a salty language, shall we say. Fair warning there. But nothing too over the top, or nothing that it's nowadays would be very tame, right? But as you can see, it starts off already where he is already Skateman, and he's taking on this gang of bicycle gang, I guess. And through his various techniques, he does get in a few licks, but as you see down here, he's caught and smashed over the face with a 2x4 and then beaten up quite badly. So let's continue on. Here he is found by his young friend Paco, all beaten up, and he doesn't want the police to know about him. So Paco takes him to, I believe, his grandmother, who is a Latin healer and uses different herbs and so forth to heal his body, but she says that his heart is in turmoil or broken or some such. And here we have a flashback on the right-hand page where you see his military career, or as a kid, he was actually doing martial arts. Then he went to the military, and in Vietnam, he saw all these horrors. So he got out, and that really impacted him. And he had trouble finding jobs and so forth. But a friend of his was, figure that, a participant in a roller derby. So he, brought him into that kind of entertainment. As you can see, his costume for his team kind of harkens back to Captain America there with the stripes around the waist and the stars on the chest. Not exactly the same, but I think there's definitely some kind of congruence there. As we continue on, we see that he now has a paramour, love interest. I think her name is Jill. And then he and his buddy are ready for another go around on a roller derby, I guess, game. And there's this really creepy guy, or a suspicious guy, that he sees there. And he's giving his buddy some skates, right? And then during the actual game, when they're acting out, hey, hit me here, hit me there, the wheel comes off, and after he hits him, you see he goes on his neck and breaks his neck, and his buddy dies. So of course that is now, affects him mentally, and he has to get away from, all that kind of lifestyle. He takes his girlfriend, moves, I'm not sure where, California or East Coast, I forgot where. I think it's East Coast. And you see that's where he meets his buddy Paco, who is, guess what? A comic book fan and a superhero fan. So they become, at first he's like, not too cool with Skateman, but, eventually they become buddies. And he's, of course, a young boy, probably about 10 or so, maybe a little bit more. And Paco talks to Skateman and sort of, they become friends. He helps Paco learn skateboarding, another kind of trope or a pop culture thing during the 80s. And Paco helps him sort of recover from the angst and trauma that he went through from killing his buddy. His girlfriend is a reporter, and as you can see, she obviously fell afoul of some kind of gangsters or something, and she paid the ultimate price, as you can see there on the right. Arg! So, more tragedy. And that sets up Skateman to become the avenger of those that wronged or killed his girlfriend. So because of his particular skill set of martial arts and roller derby, he becomes Skateman. As you can see here, he puts on his pads, his skates. He uses some kind of scarf or bandana or something to cover his identity. And he has his nunchucks, and, because of his roller derby experience, he has all that kind of moves that will help him avenge his girlfriend. But again, you can see that he, as you can see, was really trashed. As you can see, Neal Adams drew all those bruises and hematomas, etc., on his face. And he is in a bad way, but he does recover. And there's another girl now in his life who apparently is Paco's sister or some such. And in gratitude for Paco rescuing him, he creates this, mechanically engine skateboard. Apparently he's a big gadget tinkerer too. Figure that. And as he recovers, he takes out Paco's sister. He also has another friend there. And they have a good time, and they're falling in love. Again, more tropes and more, how many has this been? 3, 4, 5 of them. There's a fight there at the roller rink, and he gets out of there. And he finds out that those gang members that killed his girlfriend are starting through his friend who was kind of a street snitch or whatever. There's some kind of I guess drug deal going on. So he again becomes Skateman and is going to thwart them. He has a plan to do so, and it includes Paco and his buddies. Yes, child endangerment, no problem here. And Paco is a distraction, and he puts out some kind of explosives, and he cuts his buddies to help him take on the gang, and the gang is properly thwarted, and the girl who was kidnapped right there is now being, with the biker, is being chased by Skateman. Somehow through his skates, he outruns that motorcycle. How he does it, who knows? Look at that, flying through the air. Almost gets run over, but he goes under the truck somehow and manages to find out where they are, keeping the girl. And again, thanks to Paco and his motorized skateboard and explosives that he was given, he is able to blow up the building and rescue the girl right before, and boom, that is the end of the story right there. There's a couple other stories in here, but again, have nothing to do with Skateman. So, okay, so this has been over 10 minutes of going through this. And so what are my impressions? Well, it's hard to really give this any kind of original spin. This is just about every trope, every kind of pop culture trend during this time was used here, and Neal Adams took full advantage of that. There is, revenge, and there is tragedy, kind of like Spider-Man. There is all kinds of coincidences, wartime hero who saw the horrors of war, and because of that, he was, obviously had some kind of PTSD. Again, just trope after trope after trope. So I think Neal Adams really, just mailed this one in, phoned it in, whatever it was. And I think most people just saw this for what it was, which was just a amalgamation of every kind of hero origin and kind of storyline that you've read a million times before. And I think because of that, this was the only issue and only appearance of Skateman, at least that I have been able to find. So no surprise there. So let me know if you like this kind of deep dive into these obscure heroes. If you've read this issue or you know anything else about it, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if there's other characters you may want to know about that I may have around or I may find in the future, let me know, and I can do another another video of it, and deep dive into this kind of obscure and infamous character. All right, everybody. Hope to see you on Tuesday on What's in the Comic Box. But if not, I'll see you soon. Be kind to each other, be blessed, and be back.